It was an unexpected success, particularly after 2 years of pandemic and this war in Europe, which was making all of us afraid about the future. But luckily, person would like to meet together to have personal encounters, so to develop business and a new energy. So from a bad situation, which was the pandemic and the war, now we have a big opportunity because everything was exploding. So let's say that in the latest weeks we had registration, a lot of flows of registration from any countries, and this was also surprising us because in the previous year the presence of attendance was mainly from European countries, but this year it was open to the world, and thanks also to our distributors, which are the person cooperating with us, our ambassadors in different countries. We have had numerous important also person attending from Islamic countries as well as from USA market, so which for us in the past was not present in this event. So as I said, it was stopped, blocked, and now it's running. For instance, just to have an idea of the events in this month, they are coming like every day a new event, every day a new meeting, and this is from the event side. From the medical tourism side, patients have more necessity of and they are thinking more to the health, to the wellness, to the well-being, to the prevention. From one side, this was the need. This is the need after the pandemic, and the second is the digitalization. Because countries like Italy, which before were totally not digitalized in the medical tourism, now are turning on video consultation, digital appointments. So it's a great, not a change, but it's really a revolution. And the medical tourism is growing exponentially. So persons are traveling and the destinations are changed. Because in the past, for giving you an idea, Italians did fly to Brazil for aesthetic surgery. Now they are flying to Turkey. So everything changed. I think it's the prevention now at this stage. Then the second is that all the hospitals are crowded, because for 2 years they did block any diagnostic, any prevention, any treatment. So there are persons who now need urgently to be treated, and there are long lines in the waiting list. So there is also a necessity of finding places where to be treated in a short time, shorter than in a proper country. So in the past we had some competitors. They just did 1 or 2 editions and then they disappeared. So let's say that in Europe in this moment EMT is the biggest medical event, B2B workshop and conference, but it's happening. And with the pandemic also this changed, because before pandemic there were other events, but after they did die, so person did change work, they did change activity, and they were not able to resist after the pandemic. So hopefully I also wish that it will be more events like EMT, because more events, it means that competition make any activity growing and developing more quickly. So, and the benefit is for everyone. So what is my forecast for the future is that this kind of events will grow a lot, and they will also be partners of normal touristic events, because they have to medical has to enter also in the tourism, because tourism is what gives visibility to the medical. Yes, in the marketing of tourism, but of medical tourism too, it is very important not to be forgotten. So every moment is important to remind the partners you have met maybe during that event that you exist. So there are a lot of activities which it must be done. Is not an option, it must be, otherwise the results do not come. And it is of course marketing action like newsletter, like video conferences, like video seminars. Important are a lot also trainings, so to better qualify both the clinics as well as the facilitator. And it is needed a lot of education. It's a file which is really basic and important in the medical tourism, and it needs a lot of education and trainings. For instance, clinics need to understand which are the needs of international market, different markets, because the needs of an Italian person is different from the needs of an American or a person from Dubai or from Russia. So they are totally different market, totally different needs, and the clinic, the employee of a clinic need to understand how to approach these different markets. From the other side, the facilitator need to be more professional and to understand how to approach the client, and which are the clinic and how to select the clinic, and to grow the competence, because in order to support professionally a client and to create the trust, it's important to study, to know continuously, like doctors are continuously studying for being good doctors. Facilitators need to study every day to be a good facilitator. So, on my opinion, it's important to know the destinations, and it's basically it's very important to make person, because when we live in a country, we think that everyone knows our country, everyone knows how we live, because for us it's normal. But for me as European, to think to city in Tehran, in Iran, in Turkey, or in Dubai, or in this country, as well as in America, they are so far, and I just can imagine what the television, the images of the television gives me, but most probably they are not the real ones that represent the reality of a country. So it is always important that any company who wish to receive international patients or international clients advertise themselves, because without advertising, without marketing, without communication, there cannot be a new flow. Or you have flow from market consolidated, which know the destination and they are coming. But if you want to enter in new markets, you need absolutely, first of all, to have a good products, and second, to have a good communication. Otherwise, it will nothing happen. So we have an idea already to base the event in international city, or to divide the event into two, so medical and thermal, because at the beginnings we did European medical tourism is collecting medical spa, thermal center and clinics. But now that it is growing, maybe it is necessary also to split, because doing the event in a thermal area, everyone is thinking that it's difficult to make, when we said before, the communication. If we base the event in a thermal city, everyone is thinking that it is a wellness or a thermal event, but it is also medical. So maybe if we share the event in Venice, for instance, we do the medical, and in Abano Terme we do the thermal event, maybe it's easier for the exhibitor to, and also for the buyers, but more for the exhibitor to understand the aim and the theme of of event. This is for 2023. Most probably we will divide it into two.